This is News 3 Now at 6.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We start with election team coverage. Jamie Perez shares how Wisconsin leaders are combating voter intimidation. Plus, many are counting down the hours until Election Day is over.
But for poll workers and clerks, many are just getting started. Madeline O'Neill is live from the city clerk's office to explain what happens once polls close on Tuesday. Maddie?
Well, poll workers can start counting absentee ballots starting at 7 a.m. on Election Day, and that will be anywhere from about 300 to nearly 4,000, depending on the polling location here in Madison. But that's just one piece of the larger puzzle to getting results. When it comes to counting votes,
each polling place has a checklist. It's very long.
You don't want to come up short.
Even though some of these chief inspectors have run elections for decades, they still use a checklist every single time.
City of Madison Clerk Mayor Beth Witzel-Bales says that includes verifying the number of ballots received equals how many people signed the poll books.
They make sure every hour that those numbers are still on.
And checking that the absentee ballot delivery bag is empty, along with the tabulator's emergency bin.
Are all the ballots counted? Once they're certain that they are, they will run the results through the tabulators.
Poll workers print paper result tapes. One copy will go to the city clerk and one to the county clerk.
We have a paper trail for all of our votes. Then we have a paper trail for the results.
The unofficial results are encrypted and transferred to the county clerk via a modem before being posted online. The ballots are kept secure in a bag sealed with tamper-evident tape, and poll workers sign an inspector statement.
This is the record of everything that took place and the evidence that we need after Election Day to determine that these are indeed the ballots that were cast at the polls.
The process itself isn't kept under wraps. You can see it all yourself on Election Day.
Anyone can be there to observe what is taking place, so that's all done out in the open.
Now, at the end of Election Day, the polling location's chief inspector returns the Election Day documentation, results tapes, and tabulator memory stick here to the city clerk's office after they count all the votes. They're still not done after that. On the Friday after the election, the City of Madison Board of Canvassers meets to count provisional ballots and review all the Election Day paperwork to make sure it's legitimate. Now, voter suppression and intimidation are felonies here in Wisconsin, but that doesn't mean someone won't try it. Experts say they've already seen it this year and expect more on Election Day. Jamie Perez joins us now to explain.
Right, well, we hear a lot about misinformation and intimidation happening. It's been happening, and it will likely continue to happen throughout up until Election Day. Now, here's what experts are saying, what to expect from it, and how you should respond.
There are laws in place to protect your rights at the polls in Wisconsin.
If anybody uses force or threatens to use force to prevent somebody from voting, or if anybody tries to put somebody in a state of duress to prevent them from voting, that's a felony in Wisconsin.
Attorney General Josh Kaul wants poll workers on the lookout for that, especially in a key state like Wisconsin.
We do expect to see armed militia groups before, during, and after the election. The places that we're most likely to see extremist activity are battleground states.
The Southern Poverty Law Center brought awareness to voter intimidation and misinformation today, hoping not to alarm, but to inform. Their website maps out exactly where hate groups exist nationwide. Here in Wisconsin, there's about 15, most of them in the Milwaukee area. But you don't need to face a physical threat to experience SPLC's other concern, misinformation.
Research consistently shows that a mail-in voting does not have a voter fraud because there is no evidence.
UW-Madison professor Youngmei Kim has studied election integrity for 5 years. She's found it's mostly non-white voters who face the biggest challenges leading up to Election Day.
Non-white voters in a battleground state received almost like 10 times more voter suppression messages compared to white voters in non-battleground states.
That's amplified by mail-in voting. The ACLU found that people of color are more likely to vote by mail than white voters. And with so many absentee ballots to count this year, the SPLC will be watching Wisconsin even closer than before.
What we are committed to doing is making sure that every vote is counted, and we expect that if there's any effort by state officials or other bodies to stop the count, especially when we know there's so many outstanding that could make a difference, we're going to be involved in opposing that in some way.
So if you plan to vote in person on Election Day and see somebody there that's trying to intimidate, their best advice is to not engage. They say let someone at the polls know that that's happening, and if that doesn't settle it, then contact police and report it to the Wisconsin Elections Commission.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting live. Jamie, thank you very much. Let's check your first warn forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolfi. Gary.
Well, skies were sunny today, even though temperatures were on the chilly side. You can see on the live view from the Edgewater Skycam, the sun just set in the west and skies are clearer overhead. Visible cloud track shows very little in the way of clouds across the state today other than the far eastern and far western parts of the state, and even those clouds have dissipated. Low temperatures this morning started out in the 20s, around 20 in Camp Douglas. Here in Madison, 27 degrees. Janesville bottomed out at 28. And temperatures right now are in the 30s from Madison on toward the north and east. South and west of town, there still are a few locations with temperatures in the 40s. By tomorrow morning, we'll be looking at low temperatures in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Tomorrow should be a sunny, windy, and milder Halloween with a high of 54. There could be a shower chance for trick-or-treaters tomorrow evening. We'll turn colder on Sunday, but mild weather is expected for next week. I'll have more details in just a few minutes.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden is scheduled to speak in Milwaukee within the next half hour. It is the second time he has visited Milwaukee this election season. Biden's event drew questions after Mitchell Airport declined to host a Trump event there last week. A spokesperson said the airport does not allow political rallies on the airfield, regardless of the candidate. He says there's a difference between Biden's meeting he's holding inside with 12 people inside a building versus a 20,000-person rally on the airfield, quote, compromising the safety and security of airline operations. The Wisconsin Democratic Party's What's at Stake bus tour stopped at the UW-Madison campus this afternoon. Speakers focused on what's at stake for young people in this election, including access to health care and the economy.
And the next president of the United States of America is going to make those decisions. He's going to chart the path to either a clean energy future or one that's full of dirty fossil fuels. A future where we accept each other and use our differences to build a better nation. Or we can go down Trump's path of continuing to divide us.
UW-Madison students also shared why they're choosing the Biden-Harris ticket. And Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway talked about taking ballots to secure drop boxes and where you can vote early this weekend. You can find those voting sites at cityofmadison.com/clerk. President Trump held a rally at the airport in Green Bay this afternoon, his third visit to Wisconsin this week.
You need to show up in record numbers and deliver a blistering defeat to these corrupt forces, and they are corrupt as hell. They're trying to take over our country, and we caught them. They're coming for your guns, they're coming for your jobs, and they're coming for your freedom.
The president discussed law and order, his USMCA trade deal, how he's polling across the country, and COVID-19. He will spend the night before the election rallying at the Kenosha Regional Airport and also visit North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Michigan on Monday.
Foxconn Technology Group has notified the state that it objects to the state's denial of job creation tax credits. Earlier this month, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation said the tech company did not qualify for the tax breaks based on capital investments and hiring done in 2019. WEDC data shows only 281 full-time employees were hired, and they made just $300 million in capital expenditures. Foxconn officials dispute those numbers and say in a letter they hope to resolve the disagreement within 30 days. Developing tonight, an Illinois judge has ordered the 17-year-old accused in the fatal shooting of two protesters in Kenosha be extradited to Wisconsin. Kyle Rittenhouse's defense lawyer sought to convince the judge to block the transfer, saying he acted in self-defense when he opened fire. Lake County prosecutors say it should be up to a Wisconsin judge to decide whether there are sufficient grounds for homicide charges.
2-hour coronavirus headlines now. The 7-day average positivity rate has reached 28%, and the lifetime total number of Wisconsin deaths is closing in on 2,000. There are more than 5,000 new tests confirmed today, and another 142 people have been hospitalized. The Wisconsin State Journal reports new data from the Department of Corrections. 5 inmates have died from COVID-19. The department released the data under pressure from the paper and criminal justice groups. Today, the governor and other state health officials are urging residents to do what it takes to stop the spread of the virus. Despite those numbers, the governor says local clerks are prepared to handle in-person voters safely on Tuesday and have adequate supplies. Highland High School is switching to virtual learning for 1 week due to COVID-19 concerns. A post from the district's Facebook page says classes are canceled on Monday to give teachers some time to prepare for the transition. Elementary and middle schools will continue to have in-person learning.
Public Health Madison in Dane County is expanding services for the free drive-through flu clinic at Alliant Energy Center. Now, initially, only adults and children who didn't have insurance or had Badger Care could use the clinic. Now, anyone with Medicaid or Medicare can also come to the Get a Free Flu Shot. Health experts urge people to get their flu shots this year, especially to prevent a so-called twindemic with flu and COVID happening at the same time. The drive-through clinic open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon to 8 p.m. Coming up next at 6, we'll take a look at a creative solution to bring some joy to children in the hospital this Halloween weekend. Stay with us.
Things can change in a heartbeat. I know. My wife and 3 children were Christmas shopping. Tractor trailer killed my wife and killed my daughter. I was probably the only senator ever sworn in a hospital because I didn't want to leave my sons.
For Joe Biden, health care access is personal. And in coronavirus's wake, we need Joe's plan. Double the number of testing sites, free vaccines, save and extend Obamacare. A real plan and the resilience to lead the way. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I'm a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Welcome back. They've said it over and over again, but for anyone still trying to decide if they should attend a Halloween party this weekend, health experts are making another pitch for you to stay home instead.
In the past, Memorial Day, Labor Day, it would have taken more people together to be relatively assured that someone with COVID was going to be at your party. With such high levels of COVID right now, it doesn't take very big groups at all to know that you'd likely have someone who has COVID in that group.
Dr. Pothoff says people assume that as long as everyone feels fine, it's okay to get together, but that is not the case, since we know some people who have COVID don't experience any symptoms. As far as trick-or-treating, he says it's a bit like playing Russian roulette. The more houses you stop at, the higher the risk.
American Family Children's Hospital is making sure patients can get into the Halloween spirit while staying safe. Normally, hospital staff organize group gatherings, games, and costume contests for patients, but they had to come up with a new plan because of the pandemic. They are broadcasting Halloween events on TV in patients' rooms like arts and craft projects, story time, plus Halloween-themed coloring contest and bingo. All of these activities are meant to take a child's mind off being in the hospital, at least for a little while.
Helps cope with being in the hospital. It might be a smile that they get once a day. It might be a child that's actually participating in something that is more fun, a craft activity, a song, that maybe the rest of the day there isn't that opportunity, or they're just not feeling well enough. So it can kind of pull you out of there a little bit, make you feel better.
This afternoon, the hospital had reverse trick-or-treating, where Halloween fun bags were dropped off at each patient's room. Our partner publication, Madison Magazine, is hosting a Halloween costume contest. Send photos of your spooky or fun costume for a chance to win a free one-year subscription. Submissions will be accepted through Monday. You can find the entry information at madisonmagazine.com.
Still ahead at 6, a father and son are doing their civic duty. We'll share how they became the volunteer duo who collects ballots from drop boxes and gets them safely back to the clerk's office. And a good day to get out and enjoy some fresh air tomorrow. Gary tells us about a sunny and warmer Halloween Saturday in his firstborn forecast.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
And how you can protest. Let's turn off the noise and look at the facts about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's government-run health care plan. Their plan could lead to hospitals being closed, put Medicare coverage at risk, and give benefits to illegal immigrants. Their plan is just too dangerous for seniors like us. No amount of noise will change that. Learn more at seniorsbeware.com.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original window. It's bone chilling.
Folks, there's no need to be afraid of old windows. Just call Feldco for 50% off.
Right now at Feldco, get 50% off windows. Plus, no interest for 1 year.
50% off ends Halloween. Hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Black Friday starts right now at Steinhoffel's. Take 35% off store-wide on the largest selection of in-stock furniture at Black Friday prices. Like your choice twin, full, or queen Sealy mattress, only $99. Get this stylish queen bed for just $189. A lazy boy recliner, only $289. Warm up with a new electric fireplace for just $399. Family-size dining set for $499. And this comfy sofa, also $499. So start your Black Friday shopping now at Steinhoffel's and steinhoffels.com.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
A city employee and his high school-age son are teaming up to empty the city's absentee ballot drop boxes each day.
Our photojournalist Brian Mesmer shares why they decided to step in and volunteer.
I'm Chad Hughes. I am a supervisor for Madison Parks Department, and this is my son, Quinn. Quinn and I, we drive around to the ballot box locations. He's bag man and I'm key man. I open up the ballot box, I start counting. 31. The city was looking for a family unit because we were going to have to drive together in the same vehicle. I'm really happy to do it. It's it's a unique opportunity, I think, that we have to kind of be civically engaged, and I get to do it with my son. It's extra special that Quinn just turned 18, and this is the first chance that he has to vote in an election.
I like it. It's fun. It's a nice quality time with my dad. And when you're 18, you don't really get it that much anymore, so it's good to have it. The first day, we were probably averaging like 50 to 60 a box. Yesterday, I would say about 30. Today, so far, this looks like a decent amount.
49. Even though it's a very, very small part in my mind what we're doing here, we get to see some of the inner workings of how election process works, and I think everyone feels that this is an important election, so I think it's great that we had the opportunity to participate even in a small way.
Well, Thanks for volunteering. Thanks to Brian for putting that together with a weekend here. Hopefully, at least one of these days, folks will get outside and enjoy the outdoors, Gary.
Tomorrow should be a nice day. Of course, it's Halloween, and there will be some kids that will be able to go trick-or-treating tomorrow evening. As far as the trick-or-treat forecast is concerned, we're looking for temperatures to still be on the mild side, 52 at 5 p.m. and around 50 at 6 and 7 p.m. However, there will be a slight chance for a shower as a cold front is just about ready to come through the area at that time. Before then, look for highs in the mid-50s with plenty of sunshine. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Look for milder weather tomorrow with high temperatures in the middle 50s, but a cold front will come through tomorrow night, and that'll turn us colder for Sunday with high temperatures only in the upper 30s. We're back to upper 40s on Monday, and then temperatures around 60 for the rest of the week and into next weekend, and it'll be mainly dry. Other than that sprinkle chance Saturday evening, looks like the next chance of rain will hold off until Sunday night of next weekend. On Weather Track right now, things very quiet across our part of the Midwest. Jet stream has started to flatten out. That's an indication that milder Pacific air is heading in our direction, but it does start to turn more northwesterly over the northwestern part of the country, and that'll be the surge of cold air that reaches us on Sunday. High pressure is located just to our north. There's a warm front out to the west of us, and between that warm front and cold front, there's a narrow tongue of relatively mild air with temperatures in the 60s as far north as eastern portions of Montana, whereas on our side of the warm front, temperatures are already in the 30s. On future track, notice the winds becoming more southerly overnight and into tomorrow, and those strong southerly winds will push temperatures in the mid-50s before clouds arrive late tomorrow afternoon. Again, a slight chance for a shower tomorrow night, and then as we head into Sunday, those winds shift to the northwest. That brings in colder air. Even though skies will clear out during the afternoon hours, look for high temperatures to only be in the upper 30s, but by Monday, those winds already start to shift to a southwesterly direction, and that will start to warm us up. Looking ahead to Election Day Tuesday across the country, this is one of the quietest election days weather-wise I can think of, because most of the country will see very little in the way of precipitation. You can see starting early in the morning, this is noon our time, about 95% of the country should be precipitation-free. There'll be some showers in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of snow in northern portions of New England, and that's pretty much about it. And that will be the trend all the way through the afternoon and then into the evening hours, even as the polls already close in the eastern part of the country and still remain open out west. Just some showers up towards Seattle and Portland. Other than that, it should be a very quiet election day weather-wise across the country. Now, as we check out our forecast for tonight, look for, or for tomorrow, look for a high of 54 degrees with mostly sunny skies. It'll be windy, but there will be a chance for more clouds to start moving in later in the afternoon. That could lead to a chance of showers tomorrow night. And then as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, Sunday windy and colder with a high of 38, but near 50 on Monday, near 60 on Election Day Tuesday, highs upper 50s to lower 60s through the rest of the week and into the weekend. Next chance of rain toward the end of next weekend.
And coming up in sports, the one thing Packers head coach Matt LaFleur wants A.J. Dillon to do to make the most of his opportunities. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I started this campaign saying we're in the battle for the soul of the nation. I believe that even more deeply today. Who we are, what we stand for, and maybe most importantly, who we are going to be. It's all at stake. Character is on the ballot, the character of the country. And this is our opportunity to leave the dark, angry politics of the past 4 years behind us, to choose hope over fear, unity over division, science over fiction. I believe it's time to unite the country, to come together as a nation. But I can't do it without you, so I'm asking for your vote. We need to remember this is the United States of America, and there's never been anything we've been unable to do when we've done it together. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Find the best roofing products for your home with help from Menards. Prevent leaks that cause costly damage to your home with shingles from Atlas Roofing. Save on your whole project with 11% off all Atlas shingles and accessories. Continue your outdoor renovations with new Spectra gutters. They're essential for controlling rainwater from your roof. All Spectra gutters are 11% off. Save today with 11% off everything. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Wisconsin. During early voting, you can same-day register and vote at your early voting site until October 30th. If you're already registered, The last day to vote early is November 1st. So go to iwillvote.com/WI to see where you can vote early now. Remember to bring a photo ID and proof of residency. For more information, call 608-336-3232.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Halloween was supposed to mark the end of the outdoor market season, but not anymore. Saturday morning, find out why farmers market organizers were able to extend their time on Willow Island and how you can support locals during the tough months ahead.
Wisconsin's votes will matter. That's why on election night, News 3 Now is committed to covering the local vote live on Channel 3000 and on our digital streaming service, Channel 3000 Plus. Download it now. Join the News 3 Now team as we track an election like no other.
For the second straight week, Aaron Jones has been ruled out with a calf injury, which means more touches for Jamal Williams and second-round draft pick A.J. Dillon, which is good news for Dillon because without a preseason, it's been hard for him to get into a groove or see any action on the field. But that could change if he makes the most of his opportunities this week and does what Matt LaFleur wants him to do when he has the ball.
We just want him to trust what he sees, you know, run aggressive, press the O-line blocks, and then when you make your decision, there's no indecision. Just be decisive, and when you decide to cut, you go full speed and you accelerate through the hole. And if there is no hole, you're a pretty big guy. Make a hole.
Last night, the Brewers declined Ryan Braun's $15 million option, making the former NL MVP a free agent for the first time in his career. And the franchise wasn't done declining. Today, Milwaukee said no to Jed Jerko, Eric Sogard, and Ben Gamel's options for the 2021 season, making all three of them free agents as well. The best thing Greg Gard has going for him right now, his team is a veteran one. During their time at home, they put in the work so they'd be ready for practice because they knew there wasn't time to waste this season. And at practice, guys like Micah Potter and Nate Reavers are helping Tyler Wall and the freshman bigs get better by passing down what they've learned from their time in the Big Ten and how to take it to assistant coach Joe Krabanoff in drills.
I know they've shared tips and stories on things, probably from being pushed around by an assistant coach in practice a few times too. They don't like that very much, so sometimes that's incentive enough. They don't want to be pushed around. But no, that's what's fun about coaching here is when you get a group of guys that really enjoys helping pass along those advice and those things they learned over the years.
A lot of teams say you want to leave the jersey in a better place. Those guys are already doing it.
All right. Thank you, Zach. And here's a final check of the forecast with Gary.
Oh, we just missed a beautiful sunset in the west. This is the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. That glow on the western horizon. Temperatures are now cooling off into the 30s from Madison to the north and east. Still in the lower 40s over southwestern Wisconsin. Look for a low tonight in the upper 20s. Our Halloween high temperature 54 for tomorrow, but we'll see some clouds, maybe a shower tomorrow night. Sunday, windy and colder with a high of 38, then up to 49 Monday, near 60 for Election Day Tuesday, staying mild for the rest of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.